The Duggar family has ceased sending Josh money, so he has zero savings and 20 cents in his bank account, according to recent court records. Anna, Josh's wife, and their 6 children live in a $1 million property in Arkansas. Josh, 37, will not be able to leave prison until December 23, 2032, after serving a 151 months for convictions related to child pornography. In his most recent struggle for freedom after numerous failed attempts, Josh is now representing himself and is attempting to have the conviction overturned. Josh recently acknowledged his financial condition while incarcerated in new documents he submitted as part of his appeal, which the U.S. Sun can report exclusively. There are only 22 cents in Josh's account as of April 2025, and he owes $2. In his statement, he detailed his circumstances, including his lack of employment, income from no other source, savings, and assets. Movement currently performs a prison work assignment but does not receive any pay for compensation, Josh asserted in the court filings. So Movement is not required to disclose any revenue from his job. At this time, Movement does not own any tangible or personal property. While he was in prison, Josh asserted that not even his loved ones were sending him money. According to him, Movement occasionally receives money from family and friends, but has not during the reporting time for this request. In other instances, Josh's father, Jim Bob, and certain siblings have expressed their solidarity with the deceased family member. Josh asserted that he has limited commissary use given that his balance is $0. 3 years after Josh was sentenced to prison, Anna Duggar releases rare videos of her kids Madison and Mariella inside their brand new $1 million home. Furthermore, he asserts that he is owed money for illegal restitution and fines stemming from previous legal actions. Josh claimed in his court documents that he is entitled to relief and cannot afford to pay the expenses associated with these revenues. As previously reported by the U.S. Sun, Josh had asked the court to assign him new attorneys so that he may launch an appeal on May 12th. According to Josh, there are complex constitutional and evidentiary issues in his case, including mistakes in the admission of forensic evidence, possible Brady violations, and legal rulings and strategic decisions made during the trial. These matters should be carefully examined by experienced attorneys to determine whether there are any grounds for relief, as they could be pertinent to a collateral attack. New legal theories and strategies have emerged in public discourse that may be relevant to the defendant's case, he asserted, referring to events after his trial in 2021. Josh claimed he is ill-equipped to conduct an independent investigation due to a lack of knowledge and experience in the matter. Unable to afford counsel is a term Josh used to describe his current financial circumstances. Josh begged Judge Timothy L. Brooks for assistance with the request that the U.S. Sun received. "I am currently incarcerated and proceeding pro," Josh began his letter to the judge who presided over his trial on May 12, 2025. "I seek the court's assistance in appointing counsel to help evaluate my case and, if appropriate, prepare a motion to vacate, set aside, or correct my conviction and sentence. I have made it a priority to continue my education, work on myself, grow spiritually, and stay connected to my family while serving my sentence. Nevertheless, after carefully examining my case, I have come to the conclusion that a comprehensive post-conviction review is necessary due to substantial concerns over trial mistakes, evidence judgments, and other constitutional infractions. I am unable to fully assess these matters on my own, which is why I seek the assistance of qualified counsel to help evaluate whether relief is justified." The new legal team Josh requested was not granted. Josh is representing himself in the appeal and has decided to go ahead with it. According to the eldest son of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, there were various ways in which his constitutional rights were violated and he was deprived of a fair trial. His ex-girlfriend's mother and family friend, Bobby Hull, provided uncorroborated and prejudicial testimony, as previously reported in the U.S. Sun. False testimony by a government agent, perjury by a government agent, the exclusion of evidence pertaining to an alternative perpetrator during trial, and other grounds can also lead to the overturning of a guilty conviction. Since being sentenced in May 2022, Josh has steadfastly maintained his innocence and has been actively pursuing an appeal of the verdict. October 2022 was the first year that Josh appealed his conviction. The 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals turned down his retrial request in August 2023. Federal officials allegedly took Josh's phone when he attempted to call his attorney during a raid at his auto dealership 15 months prior to his arrest. According to Justin Gelfand, who was his lawyer at the time, he addressed the agents in the absence of legal representation. Although the agents did read him as Miranda rights, which could give the impression that someone is in prison, the court nonetheless decided to reject the new trial. According to the court documents, however, agents were instructed to scratch out the portion stating that Duggar was being taken into custody before he could sign a document confirming his rights. The paperwork was amended to make it crystal clear that he was free to depart. Both the second and third considerations work in the government's favor. While the agents drove up in their truck, Duggar sat in the front passenger seat. The fact that he was able to enter and leave the vehicle independently without being handcuffed indicates that he was free to roam around during the encounter. Even when the agents started talking to Duggar, he voluntarily acquiesced to their interrogation. After asking, "Has somebody been downloading child pornography?" he continued to converse with them for nearly an hour during the interview. No one arrested Duggar's interrogation came to a close. Contrary to expectations, he voluntarily concluded the interview and departed from the dealership. Hardly a choice that someone in custody would have. "We accordingly affirm the judgment of the district court," was the last sentence of the judgment. The conviction appeal was rejected by the Supreme Court in June 2024. Josh, his 37-year-old wife Anna, and their 6 children reside in an extravagant Arkansas mansion worth $1 million. On April 15, 2025, Jim Bob, 59, used an LLC he owned to buy a house for $1 million. There are a total of 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms in the residence. Situated on 10 acres of land, the mansion boasts 6,318 square feet and was constructed in 2008. With its secluded entrance and tree-lined yard, Anna and her kids will enjoy plenty of peace and quiet at this property. On the main floor of the home, you'll find dark hardwood floors and matching trim. A wood-beamed vaulted ceiling and fireplace characterize the living room. Stainless steel appliances, an island, wood cabinets, tile flooring, and granite countertops are the features of this kitchen. The master suite includes a walk-in shower, dual sinks, and a raised bathtub accessible via stairs. As an added bonus, the basement is spacious and has a built-in bar and a locking gun room that opens to a covered patio for outdoor enjoyment. The residence also has a porch on the second floor that faces the land and a 2-car garage. In addition to a kitchen, a bathroom, and hardwood floors, the property also features a guest house. A 40 by 50 barn with a wash station and 6 stalls for horses is also available. Inside her home, Anna shared a video of her children playing with the puppy she breathes. After pleading guilty to downloading and having photographs of child sex abuse, Josh Duggar, a former star of 19 Kids and Counting, received a 151-month jail term in December 2021. Listed below is the chronology of the ex-reality star's legal troubles. In May 2019, following an investigation by Homeland Security investigators, Josh was originally suspected of downloading data that contained sexual abuse of children. In the latter part of November,
agents from Homeland Security raided Josh's computer at the auto dealership where he worked. Josh remained in an Arkansas prison without bond following his arrest on April 29, 2021. During a hearing held the following day via Zoom at the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Arkansas, he was accused of receiving and having photographs of child sex abuse, although he entered a not guilty plea in a federal courthouse in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Josh's trial commenced on November 30th, 2021, and a verdict was rendered on December 9th, 2021. He was convicted of knowing and receiving material that contained child sex abuse. Josh received a 12-year federal jail term and a fine and special assessment totaling $51,100 in May 2022. The defense team representing Josh later filed an appeal with the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals, but their request was dismissed in the latter half of 2023. An appeal for a new trial was filed shortly thereafter by Josh. His attorney contended that federal authorities would not permit Josh to make a phone call while being arrested. Josh had his request denied once again on June 24, 2024. In April 2021, Josh was taken into custody and faced charges related to the possession and receipt of child pornography. A nearly 2-week trial in Arkansas concluded with his conviction. Josh was sent to FCI Segerville in June 2022 after being sentenced to 151 months in federal prison in May 2022. In December 2024, Josh made his first appearance behind prison walls in years when he was last spotted wandering around the prison.